Going to do a video today to show you how to remove the rear bumper on your Range Rover Evoque. Now the model we've got here is the dynamic model, which has got the square exhausts. It should be similar for the Pure and the Prestige. Now we're actually, believe it or not, going to swap this bumper today for a Pure bumper. Most people might be doing it the other way around, taking off a Pure to fit the dynamic bumper. It's a slightly different shape, and obviously you can have the exhaust. Okay, so if I pass the camera over to Tom, first thing we need to do is remove the rear lights. We've done a separate video for this, but just so you don't have to keep looking at the videos. So you've got a little slot at the bottom of this Heidi panel here. Oh gosh. Right, let's have a go. There we go, out he comes. Okay, so just put a screwdriver in there, whip that out, and then you've got some couple of crosshead screws. Of auxiliary lighting from Tom, thank you Tom. One there. Another one there. Okay, so that's the screws there. We've taken out. Oh, don't lose them. Right then. Okay, so then we should better pull the rear lights out. So they're on like a little dock in the rear corner. Okay, so yeah, they're docked on that little nipply bit there. Okay, gosh, look at the water on that connector. That's not good design, is it? Right, and then we've got to just unplug this connector. We've got to, without scratching the car, we've got to push that bit in there, it looks like. Release that bit off there, yeah, so we're just squidging that little bit there. Boom, Rachel. There you go, yep. Right, so that's the light out. Okay, so let's do that. While we're here, we've got to take this is a fir tree fixing here. So this is in the corner. Now you need to get one of these little plastic sort of trim tools. Now this isn't the rivet type one where you've got an inner bit that you remove. This is a one-piece fixing here. Okay, so let me just show you what that looks like. So we've had him out a couple of times, but it's what they call like a fir tree fixing that you just put in and those barbs just grip. So I'll do that now on the other side, and then we'll come back and show you the next step. So we've removed the light and that bottom fir tree fixing. Oh, there we go, there. Now one of the reasons we didn't show you actually is the reason you need to remove the light is that the bottom screw that holds the light in passes through the corner of the top sort of edge of the bumper there. So that's why we've got to take the light out. Right, now we're going to move round to the side here. Okay, and we've got to start removing the fixings. So Tom, if you want to grab the camera. Right, let's do the top bolt fixing first. So it's up here, okay, you can see there, and if you just zoom out a little bit, Tom, from the side, I'll show them where it is. It's sort of pretty much in line with this join line here, but on the inside. Okay, it's a 10mm socket. We've loosened it in advance of the video. Okay, so that's the bolt there, okay, that we've taken out of there. Okay, the next one we need to take out, is this. It's about 2 inches below that. There's one of these, and it looks like a sort of Phillips head. Now you can, in theory, unscrew that. This is one of these two-part plastic rivets, but we've always found it easier. We've never really had much luck getting those out. Is to put our little tool behind, like so, and then just lever him out. So I'm going to block the light for a minute. Okay, oh, there he goes. Where'd he go? Here he is. Right, so let me just show you that. Oh, let's move away from the light, or we won't see anything. Yeah, so it's one of these two-part plastic rivets, but when you go to put it back in, when you've got it out, it's somewhat easier to push that middle bit, or at least unscrew that middle bit out. But we'll show you that when we put it back in. Yeah, okay. Moving down the rear wheel arch area, you come to this other. Now this might be on yours, might be a scrivet. We have had mud flaps on here, but you will have a fixing in this place. This one's a screw, but it might be one of those plastic pop rivets, depending whether you've had mud flaps on or not. So we've got a screw there. Let's take that out. So we've got a screw there, but you may have a plastic rivet just like the last one there. It depends. Okay, so that's all the fittings out. That's all we think we need out, isn't it, Tom? Yeah. This wheel arch is the next bit. So this wheel arch, there's two fixings under here because the rear bumper comes off with this whole section here. So what we need to do is to get this and give this a pull. Okay. Now we only need to pull the first couple off, but what you'll see here is you've got these poppers here, but you'll see then that this is part of that rear wing. Okay. Now we've then got to pull this wing away because the wing docks into a little dock on the edge here. So we can leave that dangling, okay, and give this a pull along here. Work it along, one out, and then the middle one might be a bit, but you just have to be brave and it will just pop out. So yeah, if you just come and look here, Tom, so there's these three slots. If I put my finger behind, you can see in the top of the bumper, and they dock into these little grip. There's a little ramp here that it grips in. There's 1, 2, 3 of those corresponding. So we'll go and do that on the other side, and then we'll come back and show you the whole bumper. The next thing we need to do is remove the heat shield. Now we've done the video a little bit in reverse to make it easier. So we've removed the heat shield, and Tom's modelling it here. And basically there are 12 fixings in the heat shield. We'll go under the car in a minute, but you've basically got 4 of these 10mm head bolts at the top, okay, and then you've got the middle row of, and they're Torx T30s, so you've got a middle row of Torx T30 screws bolts going through there, and then you've got a bottom row of Torx T30s again along the bottom, okay, so they all go through. And if I just show you them the other side of the bolts, Tom, so they're all bolts, okay, so you can see there, oh gosh, there we go, 1, 2, 3, so it's only those top row that are different. Right, thank you, Tom. And let me show you what that does underneath, okay? So if we go underneath the car, okay, so you can see the exhaust silencer here. You can see that the top holes there line up and bolt through into the back of the bumper. Now, and they bolt through the top lip of the body of the steelwork, the boot floor flange, and so you need to take those top 4 out. Now you could in theory get away with taking just the top 4 out because the middle row and the bottom row, the Torx fittings, bolt the heat shield to the bumper, so you don't actually need to remove those to remove the bumper, but it makes it a lot neater job and you reduce the risk of bending your heat shield. So while you're under here, it's easy just to take those 12 bolts out, okay. It's hard to see in the light under here or what you've got, but what we're going to do now is the bumper should be ready to just pull out, so it's probably easier for us to grab the bumper and give that a pull off. So here we go, Tom, you've got that end, you've dislodged that end. If I just do it hold on, let me get one hand in here, I'm just trying to work out the balance point. Right, okay. That's it, Tom's got it. Right, okay. And then if we got a connector in there, Tom. Okay, so if we look down in there, we've released it and we've got a connector. Where's the best point to get that connector up from underneath? Is it? Okay, so you can see the connector here. Okay, and we've got to just release the spring on the connector and pull that off. Okay, and then the connector stays docked, so we can undock the connector from the, there we go, if we pull that back now, Tom. So yeah, you just remove the connector. You could remove the connector actually before you go to pull it off. Okay, now while Tom's got it there, let me just show you the bolt holes. So those top 4, I'll just point to them, these top 4 ones are obviously the ones that bolt through the metal flange, and then the next 4 down just hold the heat shield on. But you're better off trying to take the heat shield off rather than just ripping it off with the heat shield still on. And so if I zoom back a bit, that's your complete rear bumper there with the fog lights fixed in. It's worth just having a look. We'll do another video how to remove your fog lights, but it looks like you'd have to remove the bumper, but we'll look at that. They do that and then they seem to dock in at this end here, so yeah, as Tom's indicating, it looks like they sort of pivot out that way. You've got your parking sensors in there, and then if we look at the rear of the car, you can see we've got the reinforcing bar, so in an accident that's the one that's going to deform that you may need to replace. Looks like an aluminium one there across the back there. Okay, and then there's your exhausts, and again, depending if you're going to change from a pure, you may need to change that. But I hope that video's helped you have a go at removing your rear bumper.